Welcome to 7-Eleven Daily Summary with Bruce. Well, I am excited to be alive. I'm excited to be in this moment. But obviously, you probably already know the news, and I struggled to determine whether I should do or have to do a show tonight, and I just felt like it was something I had to do. It's senseless, and we're all just trying to understand what's going on. I'm completely shattered. I don't know about you, but some of the words just don't come out right, and I apologize. But I'm really grateful that you're here. And I'm grateful that you are in this fight with me. We are obviously in the throes of, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make this more than it is, but we're in war, and we have been for quite a while. This is a bit of a battle for good and evil, and anyway, here we are. Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed on the campus of Utah University. I'm looking here to just see if I have, Utah Valley University. A super sad day. I am shocked, as you and we all are, but I'm going to get into it. Like I said, I wasn't sure if this was the right thing to do, but I felt like I needed to talk about it, and so that we can all get through it, and let's utilize it. I mean, we need to obviously not, and I'm encouraging everyone. This is not the time to retaliate. There should be no retaliation whatsoever like that. What we need to do is we need to, just like Charlie Kirk always said, is we need to talk, and we need to be able to discuss things. And as soon as you're not able to discuss, that's when the violence starts. And anyway, I'm glad that you're here. And it's, like I said, a hard subject. Like many of us, we've never met the guy, but I feel like he was very close, or the idea, the freedom to speak is so important. Anyway, we're going to get into this. Like I said, I'm grateful you're here. Make sure to share this out, get some more eyeballs on this information. Every time that we do this, we need to get more people to listen, to share, to experience what's going on. This is probably a wake-up call for a lot of people, and watching the news, during this horrible subway stabbing down in. Oh goodness, there's so much happening. I apologize, but it just feels like, it's hard to keep on top of sometimes. Anyway, let's see. I know I'm a little bit discombobulated, and I apologize for that. Anyway, so we're going to get into this. But I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to my family, to my friends, to my circle of influence, especially the people over the last 5 years that have helped me, encouraged me, and been there as steadfast patriots, freedom-loving people that have helped to shape me and shape Unscrew the News, and to birth this opportunity. Like I said, I've said this many times, but I started this 2 years ago because I knew I needed to do more. More needed to occur. I, as a man, needed to do more for my family and for my community and for my children and their children to generations forward. I feel like there's a need to document these stories. So again, I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I want to say thank you to the people that have helped, and one of those organizations that has been with me through this. And the reason I bring this to you is because I think it's so important. And if you're not noticing what's going on in the financial world, in the banking world, and in your grocery store, and maybe your job, holding gold and silver is very, very important. I just watched an interview with Jason James, a good friend, and a great interview with, I'll have to look it up and maybe share it with you. But he talked about how our governments will not be able to not restrict wealth. And I thought it was critical information coming from this interview. So I'll share it with you later. But I want to say thanks to Nugget Stacker. So support them. Go to their website. No, actually go to my website. Go to my website. Go through Unscrew the News. Go to the link that says Nugget Stacker. Click that link. That'll get you a bit of a discount, $5 off your next order by using the code Unscrew. You can give them a call, 1-866-644-2121, and they can answer any of those pesky questions that you might have if you haven't done this before. If it's new to you, get some gold and silver. The price it continues to go through the roof. It's a little over $57 an ounce today for silver. And let me see, gold is at $5,055 per ounce. Anyway, I always suggest getting a gold and silver subscription if you are not already purchasing or have it in your hands. It's a great way to get it. All right, on with the show. So I am coming to you from the heart of the Battle Ready Nation. So saying this tonight, it has so much more meaning, but we're coming to you from the Battle Ready Nation of Alberta. We bring you truth and optimism. Our goal is to break free from the media and the globalist mind control. It's August. No, see, I did it again. It's September 10th, 2025. This is episode number 184. And Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, my friend. And unfortunately, you have become like Obi Wan Kenobi. You've become stronger. And your message is probably galvanizing as we continue to talk about you. Because in your passing, it will probably become stronger and more, I guess, the movement and more galvanized and more resilient the more that we think about what you had created. And again, if you don't know Charlie Kirk, I will be showing a bit of his work, but tragic story today out of Utah. And a young man, 31 years old. I've had this discussion. I don't know if I talked about it last night, but it just seems like people are on edge more, less ability to deal with their emotions, more, what is that? Where the road rage. I noticed a lot more road rage. I noticed, less empathy, more, cutting off in traffic, people cutting you off, less, there's still obviously some good people out there, but I don't know, maybe you're seeing it too. I'd love to hear your comments. Always, I encourage any comments, any questions, any complaints, please comment through X or Rumble or Twitter or BitChute. You can also email me through my website. It's unscrewthenews@proton.me. That's Michael Echo.me. You can find me there. Anyway, I'm glad that you're here. Let's start to unscrew some of this news, should we? unscrew the news of what the hell is going on. I thought this was a good quote. If you believe in something, you need to have the courage to fight for those ideas, not run away from them or try and silence them. Charlie Kirk. Thanks, Vivid, for that post. So the next thing I want to go to is someone who's become a friend. G Van Fleet had such a touching. Her thoughts around Charlie Kirk were so touching. I have to show it. And anyway, so she had posted this most recently. Looks like this is what happens in socialist communist paradise. The idea is so wonderful that it can only be imposed through coercion and force to keep the paradise, and she uses the quotations around paradise, pure. Those with the wrong identities or the wrong thoughts must be silenced or eliminated at the cost of more than 100 million lives. I lived through one such dystopia under Mao. Today, the communist virus has taken root. And I say there's no viruses, and a virus is all hoax. But this is a real virus. This communist virus has taken root in America under a new disguise, wokeism and DEI. And just like before, voices like Charlie Kirk, who dare to dissent, must be destroyed, all in the name of defending democracy. I know exactly where this road leads. We must stop America from going down the same path. God bless you, G Van Fleet. Great words. And I'm going to play this out because it's just so powerful. And I don't know about you, but like I said, I don't really know the guy. I mean, he's not close to me, but the idea and what he fought for was so, well, I don't know. He was liked, and he obviously was hated by some other people because he expressed his true feelings, right? So let's just listen to G Van Fleet here.
Hello, my fellow Americans. I just heard the news about Charlie Kirk. I just want Americans to know that communism and socialism and leftism is a mental illness. It believes in violence. It has been practiced in Soviet Union, in China, in Cuba. Hundreds of millions of people lost their lives because this mental illness believes in violence. And this is the mental illness now in America. And I watched the leftist communists post on social media that they denounce violence. They don't, because what they believe in is communism, is violence. We must stop it. Charlie Kirk is my hero. We have to defeat communism. We have to defend our freedom.
Tough to watch, right? Tough to watch. G Van Fleet, thank you so much for those heartfelt words. This is really, really, like I say, this is probably a wake-up call for a lot of people. Most of you, obviously not, because you're here and you've probably heard me before. But G Van Fleet has been through the Cultural Revolution. If you haven't seen it, I've interviewed her a couple of times. She's obviously been on Tucker Carlson and many other shows. She has 2 books, or a second book is about to come out. The first one is Mao's America, and it really does, it draws the lines between what's happened in the Cultural Revolution that she lived through and what's happening in America. And listen to her. You know what? She knows what she's talking about. All right, I'm going to go on to a couple other things. I'm going to go through some posts. I really don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Charlie Kirk. I'm not an expert on freedom. I'm not an expert on, much of what's going on today. But I do know that it was soul crushing, to this young family and to the freedom movement, because he embodied that ability to go out there and speak to those many universities over many years, where he would question and ask for the opportunity to argue. And he sort of broke that mold in a lot of universities across the United States, where they're constantly looking for safe spaces. That is communism. That is the socialist Marxist plan, is to indoctrinate our children in these universities. So it was perfectly placed, where he would go and challenge these young adults in university. And I admire him for doing that. That's hard work. That's hard to be there and so raw in front of people. But anyway, I'm going to go through some stuff. And like I say, words aren't coming very easily tonight. And it's tough, but I'm going to go through some stuff. And I don't want to focus, because there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of negative, where people are cheering it on, and all of that negative lefty, progressive, Marxist bullshit. And I'm not going to really focus on that. To me, it's really sad that people are so mentally ill. I mean, these are the people that continue to say that they are accepting, and we should be inclusive and diverse and equitable. Well, and then they come out and they're cheering on someone being murdered. Just not right. Anyway, I'm going to pose another question to you. If you've seen any of the footage, I think that there's some good questions, and Ian Carroll, mentions that we should be questioning everything, and everything should be questioned. But there's potentially a professional job that this was. I mean, it seemed like it to me. Laura Loomer, I thought this was interesting. During a TMZ live stream today, employees at TMZ could be heard cheering 30 seconds before Charlie Kirk's death was announced on TMZ live stream.
If he's still on the loose, because they want to find him. So I would think that that's one of the main reasons they're holding this news conference. So my guess is we're going to see an image of this guy possibly in the next 20 minutes. The news conference is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead. All right, so is this ready to pull the trigger? We can get Trump in a second. What did Trump say? Yeah, what did he say? So what did Trump say? Yeah, Trump just said he's dead. Yeah, he just said it. Okay.
like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the negativity, but there's that. Beyond belief. I don't want to hear that. Okay, Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson says our free speech event on Saturday is more important than ever. Charlie Kirk being murdered is not a reason to be scared and not to attend. It's actually the opposite. Charlie stood for me. Charlie stood for Britain. And on the 13th, Britain will stand to honor him. Free speech matters. Tommy Robinson, a real hero. I'm sorry, this is, again, I don't know what it really should be, but I just felt like it was necessary. And whether, it's just because we're coming together that we can heal together or what it is. Like I said, I don't have any words of absolute wisdom. I know that I hope that this encourages you and encourages you to encourage others to fight for our freedom, to fight for what's right, to stand up for free speech. Nothing else really matters when you start to think about events like this, is that, everything else seems to go to the wayside. Is it how do you worry about, minor little things when free speech is sort of at the core. And if we don't have that, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I am trying to make people wake up and realize, smell the coffee. As I talked about it last night, as Vietnam erased 86 million bank accounts. 86 million, you guys. That's double Canada's population. 86 million bank accounts in Vietnam were wiped out because a tyrannical government that wants to control. And this is 100% probably in that same vein of, deep state actors obviously decided that he was too critical, I guess, or dangerous for, their agenda. I don't know that for sure, but that's quite likely. This guy that they showed, in handcuffs and walking away, he was more than likely a patsy, or he was mentally ill himself and just, wanted to take credit for it when he probably didn't do it. But it is strange times. You know what? Before I forget, I'm going to look up Jason James, his interview today, or was it yesterday? No, I was up so early this morning, went for my workout. There it is. Okay, so this is the interview I wanted to tell you about. Mark Cahodes, you have to listen to this. You know what? Maybe I'll just listen to the first few seconds.
It will be like trucker, the trucker convoy seizure. It won't be 2.0. It'll be like 10.0.
Do you still feel the follow up on our last conversation today? I, of course, follow a lot of what
Since that has gone straight up. So,
do you still feel the same way?
Yeah, the U.S. market since that has gone straight up. So, Trump is two things. He's theatrical to get the most pop in the media through theatrics, and he's transactional. He's those two things, and he's the king. And the sooner everyone realizes it, and I'm not a Trumper, the sooner everyone realizes it, the better. And he can bully, at least for now, everyone around. he can especially bully around Arctic Mexico, aka Canada. And I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings ever on this thing, but you know, you guys all live in Arctic Mexico. We'll get into the only chance you guys have, but he can sure push around Carney like a rag doll.
All right, that's all I'm going to let you listen to. But great interview by my friend Jason James on Brave New Normal. If you get a chance, take a listen to it. All right, I'm going to go back to the stream of Charlie Kirk. I mean, this is a post by Charlie Kirk here saying America will never be the same. Oh, by the way, that interview with a Brave New Normal was early this morning, obviously before any of the Charlie Kirk episode happened. So, you know, prior to that, it just seemed so important. Oh, goodness. Let me see. I don't know if this looks like it's actually Charlie Kirks. I'm just going to go to my bookmarks today and go through my bookmarks because again, I'm not going to focus on that. Okay, so this was interesting because I had mentioned it before. Oops, sorry, you can't see this. There we are. Luke Rudkowski, whoever this is, it was a professional hit. And this obviously would be the tent where Charlie was. And this looks like the point where the shot came from. So I don't know where his information came from, but I heard this as well. Let's just take a look at the comments. Ashton Forbes, who, you know, we trust, a professional wouldn't do it at a crowded event, in my opinion. They were definitely skilled, though. Monkey could make that shot with a hardware store level rifle and a scope. Yeah, probably, because it wasn't that far. It looked like the shot came from the left, looking at the stage. 200 meters is not a far shot. However, it was organized by more than one person. The old man who threw himself at the police saying, "Shoot me," gave pause on the search for the shooter, allowing him to get away. No kidding, right? The individual who asked the question about mass shootings was timely. I'm wondering if that was not organized as well. It was not professional. It was an M700 chambered 308. It was organized communist leftists. Quite possible. And in case you haven't seen this, this is a video of what looks like somebody on the roof.
He'd already be in place? You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying, just get right up.
Wow. That sounds like it was before. Not a chance unless you're shooting with a pistol. Rifle would be a cakewalk for an average shooter. Stop trying to gin up the controversy and sort of the facts. You're sounding like an MSNBC anchor. Oh, yeah. Huh, interesting. I think it was more towards the corner on that building rather. Okay, well, there's some interesting thoughts on this. Just heard from someone, there was that old guy started yelling, I got him. And when police grabbed him, he started saying, I have the right to remain silent. Seems like a planned diversion. Shooter is still at large. I want to. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything there. There's no, okay, this is AJ. Nick, there's no doubt in my mind it was someone in deep state because sniper shots mean military level training. Kirk was speaking logic and waking up the woke culture. They don't want that. They want dumbed down population that hates their own country and begs the government for help. Totally agree with that. They probably want them all to be on fluoridation as well, since it dumbs people down and makes them more complacent. Let's see, what is this guy? This is the same video. Shooter who took the life of Charlie is in custody, is to what Tony says here. Huh. Again, Charlie Kirk pushed back against Israel supporters. I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Oh, wow. All right. Well, lots of stuff coming out. I think I'm just going to stick with Charlie Kirk unless there's something else that I think of. But obviously, I'd love to hear your comments and concerns or complaints or whatever the case is. Again, I am so grateful that you're here, and I'm so grateful that we're able to do this together. This is, I don't know if I could compare this to anything else in the past, but it's such a huge deal. To me, this seems, and I know I'm using the same phrase, but it feels like a turning point. And, everything up until now is different. And then everything after this will be different again. Love to hear your thoughts on that. And not to really, forget about it, but tomorrow's September 11th. And I don't know if it was, obviously planned that way, but it just seems very strange. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth teller of an era. My dear friend Charlie Kirk was our country's relentless and courageous crusader for free speech. We pray for Erica and the children. Charlie is already in paradise with the angels. We ask his prayers. We ask his prayers for our country. Amen. This is pretty sad. I'm going to play this one, though.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. 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 We will join prayer right after this, okay? What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise?
Sorry, the headline or the title says the Democrats in the House shout no for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk, sorry. And I didn't really see that, so. All right, I'm going to listen to this one more person right here.
To be absolutely crystal clear, this is political terrorism. And we have leftists all over X, all over TikTok, even in my own comments right now, celebrating. How far gone do you need to be as a human being to celebrate when someone who has different political beliefs than you gets shot? How far gone as a human being must you be? Political violence, political terrorism has no place in this country. I don't care how much you disagree with someone's politics. I don't care how much you disagree. Nobody deserves that.
Agreed. Agreed.
To
Thank
be
you very much.
absolutely
Thanks, Becky. Appreciate that. Oh, this guy.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing.
It's the same side that's telling you they're about doing the right thing and about being virtuous and about supporting people and about doing the right thing. These people are disgusting. They're not saying, hey, praying for him, hope he recovers. No, they're cheering the fact that a man was out speaking to a crowd in public, got shot in the neck, and blood was spurting out of his neck like it was a water hose. And they're cheering it on. These people are disgusting. It hasn't even been 2 hours. Absolutely disgusting. And I have some more things I want to say, but I want to wait to get confirmation on who the shooter was so we learn more about their intentions and why they did what they did. But these people saying these things, disgusting. Now, don't forget, it's interesting because the same thing almost happened to Donald Trump. So again, I want to wait for more details to come out before I say much more, but it's interesting how all this dramatic high level of violence is happening against people on the right and not the left. That's just an observation that I've noticed. Anyway, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I go into.
Okay, like that guy. Okay, so this I thought, I'm going to end on this. And again, I appreciate you being here. God bless you all for being here, because this is pretty heartbreaking for many people. And but this is what he did. So let's just listen in.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity. I go around universities.
Amen to that. Amen. Charlie Kirk. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you've done for the world and your family. I pray for them, and I'm really grateful for what you've given to the movement of freedom. And you helped obviously bring in Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. He is doing some good things for the United States and therefore possibly Canada. I know he cheered on getting Carney because that's good for him and it's good for the United States. All right. What an extraordinary time to be alive. And we are going to be seeing some amazing things happening. So belt yourselves in. I always say, let's stay sane together. Keep your head on a swivel. And, I appreciate all of you. Love to hear your comments. And take care of each other. Make sure to reach out to those family members and give them a hug. God bless you all. And this is Bruce, and I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching Unscrew the News. I appreciate your participation in freedom in Canada. Share this information and help others to wake up. God bless.